Hello and welcome to the Banker's Tech Talk video series looking at all things fintech. I'm Joy Macknight, managing editor at The Banker, and I'm joined this week by Warren Platt, who's founder and CEO of Venio, a fintech specializing in nano credit solutions and also mobile payments for unbanked consumers in emerging markets. So Warren, thanks so much for joining me.
Nice to meet you, Joy. Pleasure to be here.
So can you tell me a little bit about how Venio works?
Venio is a nano credit lending facility that is accessed by a smartphone. Basically, the user comes in and they can apply for a line of credit between $1 and $5 US. That credit is used in a marketplace that allows them to access goods and services.
Okay, and how is it really going to change the way people can access financial services?
Well, we definitely provide a gateway into a broader range of services. So our initial proposition is around a $1 to $5 line of credit. But once a user comes into our system, we have algorithms that rate them based upon information from their handset, certain behavioral criteria, and we give them a rating. Once that rating is established, we open up greater lines of credit to them. But as they progress with us, there's other propositions they can access. For example, we will open up certain banking solutions for them. So we have partnerships with banks that can prepare them for a basic bank account, debit card, that type of thing. We also have a deal with Visa in the Philippines where we can provide a debit card for both our merchants and our borrowers once they reach a certain level. So it's very much an entry-level point for expanded financial services and a journey for them to become financially included. So what we're doing is helping users understand what credit is, how to access it, how to manage it, and then obviously reap the rewards and the benefits if they do a good job.
Well, that was going to be one of my questions, is really around why you chose the Philippines to launch it first.
The Philippines is a very interesting place for anybody who's never been there. It's a country with 7,600 islands. It has a huge population, one of the highest diasporas of any country in the world, so around 10% of the population works overseas. The movement of cash and micropayments and general remittances is very well developed. So obviously in that type of environment and infrastructure, the evolution of financial products for the unbanked, or let's say the poor level of society, is highly developed, but the access to the credit that supports those mechanisms is very limited. So we saw the Philippines primarily as a place that needed something like Venio, and obviously there's an opportunity there to address a need and a requirement, and that's what we've done. And so to date, it's been quite successful. What we see is there are many lenders in the market, sort of in the microcredit space, from $20 and above, but typically that's out of reach for most of the Philippine population. Probably 70% of them are daily earners, so they're typically, earning amounts from $5 to $10 a day, and they'll support their families and basic necessities from that basket. So having the additional $1, $2, $3, or $5 can be the difference between eating or getting to work, or being able to communicate with your boss or customers per se. So it's very much a bridge type mechanism that gets them to the next juncture in life.
And my last question is really around sort of the push to digital transactions under COVID-19 pandemic. Why has that, or how has that sort of increased the focus on financial inclusion?
Obviously, the pandemic has caused a much greater need for basic necessities. Daily earnings are more limited. What we've seen is that we sort of timed it perfectly. We were going to launch at the beginning of the pandemic. We held off a little bit to see how things played out, and we ended up launching in July. We've done over 50,000 loans to date in the Philippines, and the demand is very high. But also the fulfillment around the goods that we deliver is also very relevant, because as people are stuck inside, there's more digital consumption. So products like airtime and data have definitely been needed to conduct their daily business and routine. So it absolutely has driven adoption of our product.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for your insights, Warren.
Thank you, Joy. Appreciate it.